So you want to build a website for your brand, but where do you even start? If you're anything like me, you have probably spent way too much time scrolling for inspiration, saving references, and telling yourself I'll start soon. But when it's your own project, there's this weird pressure to make it perfect. And that pressure, it can keep you stuck in that planning mode forever. I've been there. When I started designing the Rise Design Studio website, I overthought everything. Every tiny detail felt massive. Because this was my brand, it had to be flawless, right? But here's what I learned. Perfection is the biggest roadblock to progress. In this video, I'll break down exactly how I went from overthinking to actually launching the website, and guess what? It didn't just turn out great, it got nominated for awards, one of the biggest web design award platforms out there. So if we were sitting together and if I had to give some unfiltered advice on how to actually build a website, this is what I'd tell you. Alright, before we dive in, if you're into content like this, hit that subscribe button. And hey, if you need a website, motion graphics, social media assets, graphic design, or anything digital design related, just drop us an email at connect@risedesigns.com. We got you. Now, when I first started thinking about the site, I was immediately drawn into the fun stuff, the visuals, the cool animations, the colors. But here's the thing, before any of that, you need to be crystal clear on why you are building this site. Every decision, design, layout, platform should connect back to the purpose. Otherwise, you're just designing for the sake of it. And trust me, that's how most projects end up in the never finished folder. Ask yourself, is this site for selling products, booking clients, or building a community? What is the purpose of your website? For Rise Design Studio, my goals were make a killer first impression that instantly reflects our design expertise. Showcase our portfolio plus services in a structured, engaging way. Make it ridiculously easy for potential clients to reach out and keep navigation smooth and intuitive. Getting clear on this upfront made everything else, layout, colors, even animations, way easier to decide later on. I know how tempting it is to jump straight into Figma and start playing with designs and not doing any research or planning because that seems like a time waste. I've been there. But trust me, take a little time to plan things first, and that will save you so much frustration later on. Here's what I did. I checked out tons of websites with great designs and took screenshots and categorized them. Best UI, best typography, best content layout. So I had a reference bank ready. I mapped out the sections I wanted based on this research. Next, I outlined all the content so I knew what went where text, images, and interactions. Now, never use dummy text here. That's the worst thing you can do. If your content isn't real or at least close, you'll never design a layout that actually works. Then I sketched rough layouts on my iPad, just exploring different design ideas. This initial sketching step is really important to get that, creative energy and ideas flowing. Alright, now I have some ideas to get started with now that my sketches look good. Let's start with the high fidelity wireframes. I'm not going to think about the colors or typography just yet. Let's just focus on the structure. Does everything flow logically? Is the hierarchy clear? Can someone land on this page and instantly get what they want? Let's just focus on that first. Once the wireframes were solid, I moved into high fidelity design. Still no colors or fancy typography yet. The goal was just structure. Function first, visuals later. If the foundation is weak, no amount of fancy UI will save it. Need to get spacing right, balance elements, make sure nothing feels off. By focusing on function before aesthetics, I wasn't tied to a specific visual direction yet. Once the core structure was solid, it was time to bring in the design system and visual identity. For the typography, I went with Shipstyle Grotesque, a clean, modern, sans serif font. It's highly legible and gives a professional yet creative vibe. And let's talk about the screen size. I designed for 1400 pixels width with content at 1200 pixels for better responsiveness. Now, here's my top tip. I always start in black and white to focus on layout and UX before adding colors, and I have my reasons for it. If a design only works because of its colors, that's a problem. It means the layout, hierarchy, and UX aren't doing their job. That's bad design. Strip away the colors, and if it still makes sense, that's when you know it's solid. Now, I have more reasons to why one should add the colors towards the end. First, it saves time. If you tweak colors too early, you'll end up wasting a lot of time. It's way harder to fix structure later on than to swap a color. Second, it prevents bias. Bright fun colors can trick you into thinking a design works, even if the layout is weak. Third, it makes things more accessible. Colorblind users rely on clear structure, not just colors. If it works in grayscale, it's already way more inclusive. And fourth, it forces better contrast and readability. If text isn't legible in black and white, it won't be accessible with color either. Now, if you check out risedesigns.com, it's basically full on color explosion. Gradients, beautiful rays everywhere. Adding those colors after getting the structure right was the best part. A lot of the elements were also designed from Rise, as in sunrise. So I pulled in blue, purple, pink, and all those beautiful fresh colors that you see in a sunrise. And yeah, had to go with the dark theme. Just makes everything feel more premium and lets those colors really pop. This method sped up the entire process and made future updates effortless. Once the desktop design was finalized, I adapted it for mobile and collected feedback from some users in case there are some changes we have to do. We designed the entire website in Figma first and then built it in Framework. Now, I get this question almost all the time. Should I design in Figma or should I straight up design in Framework? Here's my take. Figma is where you explore and Framework is where you execute. Figma gives you the freedom to play around, test ideas, and iterate without worrying about implementation. It's a playground. In Framework, you're working with more final designs. It's less experimenting and more building. That's why we started in Figma to design and fine tune everything before bringing it into Framework for development. Now go check out the website and let me know what you think in the comments. And the next video, I'll break down the post-launch challenges we faced in optimizing a Framework website. Building a website isn't just about making it look good. It's about creating something that actually works for your brand and audience. If this breakdown helped, don't forget to like and subscribe for more design content. And now it's your turn to create something awesome.